There was a time not so long ago, when the idea of a world championship reign, lasting close to a year seemed like an impossibility. The lack of lengthy, and powerful major title runs, has been a troublesome criticism on the minds of many fans for years, but WWE seemed to have answered this call, as they have established one of the most dominant, and longest-running reigns of the PG era. Roman Reigns has had a very up and down time with the promotion, as his initial babyface push was met with more backlash than management could have ever expected. This seemed to be his lot at first, but eventually, he took a heel turn and laid claim to the Universal title, giving him a career best year and burning away the sour taste of his past. As of right now, it's almost impossible to think of him losing his championship, as the company have turned him into one of the strongest and most protected wrestlers on the roster. But all things must come to an end, and these are some of the most likely selections for who could pry the belt from him. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling content. Number 5. Randy Orton. WWE has pulled this card plenty of times, as Randy Orton is always a safe bet to dethrone a dominant champion without making them look too weak. The Viper has been a permanent fixture of the company for 2 decades now, and in that time, he's become one of the most decorated stars in its history. He's a guaranteed Hall of Famer, so it wouldn't be out of place for him to win. Orton is currently tied up in a storyline with Riddle and situated on Raw, but Roman doesn't seem likely to lose his grip on the belt for some time, so there's plenty of opportunities for change. It's safe to say that this wouldn't be the most exciting option, as fans are never too far away from seeing an Orton championship run, but his legacy with the company would make it so that Reigns' stock wouldn't be lessened in defeat. Thus far, the Universal title is the only world championship that has eluded Randy Orton in WWE, so seeing him put into a program on the hunt for it would be logical. Sometimes the safest bet is the right choice to make. Number 4. Drew McIntyre. Deciding who the next pick for Universal Champion should be is like navigating a minefield, as you need to try and avoid running too many risks to reduce collateral damage. To that, it's unlikely that a performer with less main event level experience, such as Big E or Cesaro, will be taking the belt from the head of the table. There is, however, one wrestler with the proper credentials to do it. It's safe to say that 2021 hasn't been going how many thought it would be for Drew McIntyre. He had an absolute career best year in 2020, as he won the Royal Rumble, captured the WWE Championship, and held it dominantly, save for a few spontaneous changes. However, a series of losses to Bobby Lashley, and a failure to recapture the title, has left his stock a little damaged. So why not scoot him over to the next big prize? The former chosen one has the right amount of credibility, as he's already proven to be a strong champion and is young enough to the main event scene to feel like a choice that's still moving forward. Plus, he's been booked to look plenty strong before, so there's no reason he can't do the same here. Number 3. Edge. As of right now, Edge is in the running for this belt, and while it doesn't feel like the right time for him to conquer the mighty Roman Reigns, that doesn't mean it's not something that could happen somewhere down the line. Whether the rated R superstar manages to defeat Reigns at Money in the Bank, or not is irrelevant, as even if he loses, he's still got the legendary status, star power, and solid booking to one day become Universal Champion. In Edge's WWE 24 documentary, and several of his promos, he has discussed how his career coming to an end was painful, but what hurt most was the fact that it wasn't on his own terms. Being forced into retirement due to injury, meant that he didn't have the power to go out how he wanted. But defeating Roman Reigns, capturing a belt he's never held, and having one last hurrah, would be a great way to put an end to his illustrious career. Edge will always have the support of the crowd, so he'd attain one hell of a pop for dethroning the champion. It also needs to be said that their triple threat match with Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania was a barnstormer, so seeing them go one-on-one is going to be a spectacle. Number 2. Brock Lesnar. There was a time, that's not even too distant a memory, when the same argument was being made for who would eventually tear the title away from Brock Lesnar, so it's hard to think of a more likely choice than the Beast himself. It would undoubtedly return to something that fans are not too keen to see, but what could be more on brand for WWE than that? Lesnar has been away for some time now, as fans haven't seen him since he lost the WWE Championship to McIntyre at WrestleMania 36. As of right now, he's not technically under contract with the company, but his alumni profile was moved to the Raw roster on WWE.com earlier this month, so it might be time to print the "Welcome Back" banner. While the Beast incarnate and the former Shield brother have battled before, it would be entirely different this time, as Reigns has completely new energy behind him, and the distance will have allowed Lesnar to regain some of his goodwill. A match between them would be a real clash of the titans, and it's one that Lesnar could very believably win, as he's one of the most strongly booked wrestlers in company history. Number 1. The Rock. If you want to talk about a WrestleMania main event for the ages, then the hypothetical showdown between these members of the Samoan wrestling dynasty is undoubtedly worthy. The subject of these epic wrestlers clashing has been in talks for some time now, but Reigns has finally reached a point where he has the momentum and star power to pull it off fully. There's no doubt it would be memorable, and it's far more likely to happen than you might expect. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson has expressed interest in bringing this feud to life. Although you'd imagine he'd want to put his cousin over, it wouldn't be surprising if WWE used him as a means to remove the belt from Reigns without damaging him too much. In fact, regarding his character, it could spiral him into something entirely different, as being beaten by the real head of the family would undoubtedly cause him to become more unstable and dangerous. Suppose WWE were to wait until the next WrestleMania to pull the trigger on it. In that case, Reigns could be astronomically stronger than he already is, making this match off the charts regarding star power, marketability and instant classic status. Rumors are circulating that WWE want The Rock for Survivor Series, so perhaps some setup is on the way.
You know, I always say that I say a lot of things, but as it relates to hard work, it's the quiet, consistent hard work that you put in when no one is watching. That's the kind of hard work that changes the game. I believe that. And speaking of changing the game, I wanted to create an energy drink that changed the game. As you guys know, Zoa, sip your Zo. Now let's go. Thank you guys so much for making it already such an early success. I wanted to create an energy drink that changed the game in the category and also didn't give you jitters when you drank it, nor did it give you a crash. But it is a healthy balance of an energy drink with natural caffeine, and we're gonna go with some berry and packed with vitamins, electrolytes, antioxidants, etc. Cheers to hard work. Thank you for the trust in Zoa, and cheers to changing the game. Sip your Zo. Now let's go.
Personally, I say, thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please hit the like button. If you want to see more videos, hit the subscribe button, and if you have something to say, please leave a comment.
Oh, let me up with a bright smile.